What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So a little bit more information on this submersible implosion that happened and the people that were on it. And one of those people was a teenager who was the son of one of the guys that was on there. His 19-year-old student. His name was Suleman Dawood. And it says here, and I'm reading this off the HuffPost. I'll leave the link to the article down below. It says here, teen on Titan sub was terrified but agreed to dive for Father's Day, Aunt says. So, man, it's sad. It's just like, it's so sad. Before I even get into this article, it's just like, it's bothering me so much to know that he was afraid, but he did it for his dad. It says Suleman Dawood, the 19-year-old student presumed dead in the Titan submersible implosion, was afraid and reluctant to go on the deep sea expedition, his aunt told NBC News. Suleman accompanied his father, Pakistani business executive Shahzad Dawood, on the voyage to view the sunken Titanic. Speaking to NBC News, Asma Dawood, Shahzad Dawood's older sister, said her nephew Suleman told a relative he was terrified and wasn't very up for the expedition, but agreed to go as a Father's Day gesture to please his father, who was fascinated by the sunken ship's history. The 22-foot submersible, owned by OceanGate, lost contact with its host ship shortly after descending toward the wreckage in the North Atlantic on Sunday. On Thursday, the U.S. Coast Guard said debris from the vessel had been found on the seafloor near the Titanic site. Authorities said they believe the vessel imploded on its descent, killing all 5 aboard. Asma said it has been crippling for her to imagine her 19-year-old nephew struggling to breathe aboard the vessel, which set off with a 96-hour supply of breathable oxygen. International teams searched the area for days, with the chances of survival dwindling with each passing hour. It says here, quote, "I feel like I've been caught in a really bad film with a countdown, but you don't know what you're counting down to," Asma told NBC. "I personally have found it kind of difficult to breathe thinking of them." Suleman Dawood has just completed his first year as a business student at the University of Strathclyde in Glasgow, Scotland. The university said in a statement that it was shocked and profoundly saddened by his death. Friends of the family told the New York Times the father and son were passionate about science fiction and travel. Suleman Dawood was enthusiastic about solving Rubik's Cubes and played volleyball. Shahzad Dawood and his wife, Christine, who lived in the UK, also have a daughter. The other passengers on board the Titan were OceanGate founder and CEO Stockton Rush, wealthy British business person Hamish Harding, and French deep-sea explorer Paul-Henri Nergiolet. That's gotta be, like, just, I can't even imagine. Like, just thinking about it gives, like, it's bringing up anxiety to me, because number one, I don't know how to swim. So there's a certain level of anxiety that comes with me being in water. And one of the things that I love is being in the water. As much as I don't know how to swim, every time I go on vacation, no matter what island I'm on, I need to be in the water. I like being in the ocean water. I know my limit because I don't know how to swim. I've never been on a cruise. I've never been on a boat. So I can only imagine being sealed up and going underwater a couple of 1,000 feet. Just that alone gives me anxiety. So him just already being anxious and being terrified, but him wanting to be with his father, and it, like, it makes me a little emotional, because it's like, there's nothing he wouldn't do for his dad. Like, that's what that says to me, you know. And they seem to have been very, very close. And the fact that he pushed past his fear to join his dad, you know, as a Father's Day thing for them to do, apparently because he's the only son. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. It's really, really sad. And to know that he was so terrified of it, and for this to have happened, is just beyond tragic. It's just beyond, like, I couldn't even imagine or begin to wrap my head around what happened. Like, I'm reading what happened, I hear what happened, but I can only imagine, like, as a family member or a loved one, wrapping your head around what happened. Like, you know, from what we were have seen and what we've read and what we've told, they were bolted in this thing. So it wasn't like something that you just kind of, apparently it just wasn't built right. It is so much being told and so much being said around this thing. It had communication issues and wasn't the right thing. You know, it wasn't completely, you know, legit for it to go underwater like this. It had 96 hours of oxygen, but it wasn't even, you know, good enough to be under all those 1,000 feet of water. And the fact that it lost contact when it was only less than 2,000 feet says a lot. It says a lot. And it's really, really sad. And there's people, I believe there was a couple of people who came out talking about them experiencing being on this thing and just being told that there was a lot of communication issues and stuff like that. So I'm sorry, like, I would want to do my research before getting on something like this. And as soon as I read it had communication issues, I would have been like, no, thank you. Because at the end of the day, like, what happens? What's going to happen if we lose communication? How are we supposed to let people know something's wrong? You know what I mean? Like, something like this, I just would not. I wouldn't even get on a legit submarine because it's underwater. Like, let alone this submersible, which is like a small little. To me, it looked like you know, like one of those little air the blimps. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like a little blimp underwater, and I that just it just makes my it just shoots my nerves. It does, you know, and just I can't even imagine what their minds were going through as soon as this thing started to implode. Like, they had no time to even think. And I know that, I mean, this kid is already being terrified, and for something like this to have happened, it's so unfortunate, so unfortunate. The only, and I can't even say it's a good thing. The only thing is, if it happened so fast in a matter of seconds, like, I just pray that they didn't feel any pain. Like, there's like no right thing to say when it comes to this situation. You know what I mean? Like, uh, it's just sad all the way around. It's absolutely tragic. My prayers continue to be with their families. Oh man, leave your comments down below. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions on this. Let me know if you've heard of anything else, anything new. And as always, if you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel, hit like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get notified whenever I pop up on your feed. I'll see you guys later.